You know, it's funny. We're all connected by these invisible threads, all the time, every single day. From a simple radio crackling to life, to the smartphone that's probably in your pocket right now, there's this massive force at play. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that force, information and communication technology, or ICT. It's the quiet revolution that's literally shaping everything we do.
So here's what we've got lined up. We're going to start with 5 simple, everyday stories that, on the surface, seem totally random. Then we'll figure out the one single thing that ties them all together. We'll also break down the huge difference between data and information. Trust me, it's important. Then we'll see how all this tech is changing your world and wrap it up by looking at just how massive this global revolution really is. All right, to wrap our heads around something as huge as ICT, we're not going to start with the big, complex stuff. Nope. We're going to start small. Let's dive into 5 little moments, 5 everyday incidents that might not seem to have anything in common at first. First up, picture a fisherman out on the open sea. You might think his most important tool is his net, right? But it's actually his radio. That little box is his lifeline, giving him instant warnings about dangerous storms. For him, a piece of tech means coming home safe.
Okay, next, meet Eunice, a farmer. His entire life took a turn one night, just from watching TV. A show told him he could grow strawberries, something he never would have dreamed of. That one little piece of information, broadcast through the air, completely transformed his family's future.
Then you've got Shraboni. It's the day her exam results are out. But instead of a long, anxious trip to school, her parents just send a quick text message. A few seconds later, bing, the good news pops up right on their phone. It's instant, it's easy, and zero stress. And how about Rashid? He decides to enter a national essay competition. The topic? Something he knows next to nothing about. So what does he do? He sits down at a computer and suddenly the internet becomes his own personal massive library. He gets everything he needs to compete with kids from all over the country. And for our last story, imagine 2 kids, Ria and Antu, who couldn't get tickets to the World Cup. Major bummer, right? Well, not really. They watched the whole match live on a giant multimedia screen, and it felt like they were right there in the stands. The broadcast didn't just show them the game, it brought the entire experience right to them. Okay, so a fisherman, a farmer, 2 students, and a family watching cricket. 5 totally different people, 5 totally different situations. But what on earth is the one thing that connects all of these stories? Seriously. Think about it for a second. A radio catching a weather report, a TV showing a new farming technique, a phone getting a text with exam scores, the internet dishing out historical facts. What's the fundamental link? What's going on in every single case? And here it is. The answer is information technology. Every single one of those stories was powered by it. It's really just any technology that we use to send, receive, or store information. That's it. That's the common thread. It's the how behind everything we just saw. Now, to really get what ICT is all about, we have to zoom in a little bit. It's all about information, sure, but where does that stuff even come from? We've got to understand the critical difference between 2 words people throw around all the time: data and information. They are not the same thing. Just look at these numbers on your screen: 98, 100, 50, 95. What do they mean? To you, right now, absolutely nothing. They're just random figures. They're noise. This is what we call data. It's just raw, unorganized stuff without any context at all. Think of it like this pyramid here. Down at the very bottom, the foundation, you've got data. It's just a pile of bricks. To build anything useful, you have to organize those bricks, give them some structure, and turn them into the next level up: information. So let's go back to those numbers. Now, what if I told you they were the exam scores for a student named Rimi? All of a sudden, bam, those numbers have meaning. We know she's amazing at English and maths, but maybe she needs to work on global studies. We've just turned meaningless data into useful information. So here's the key takeaway, the most important thing to remember. Data is just the raw ingredient. Information is the finished meal. And ICT? Well, ICT is the technology, the entire kitchen, that cooks that raw data into something meaningful that we can actually use. Okay, so now that we've got that down, let's zoom the camera all the way back out. This process, this magic trick of turning useless data into useful information, it's not just for exam results. It is happening literally everywhere, in almost every single part of our lives.
I mean, just look at this list. From the classroom to the operating room, from the farm to the bank, ICT is the engine making everything smarter. It's not just one big revolution. It's 100 little ones, all happening at the same time in every field you can possibly imagine.
Take education. I mean, remember lugging around those giant, heavy school bags filled with books? Now you can fit an entire library. We're talking thousands of books onto a single e-reader that weighs almost nothing. That's a fundamental change in how we get access to knowledge.
Or what about healthcare? It's incredible. ICT lets doctors see inside our bodies with unbelievable clarity. And it's even made things like telemedicine possible, where you can literally get medical advice over the phone. That was pure science fiction just a few decades ago. And let's talk about something we all use, banking. Not that long ago, if you needed cash, you had to physically go to a specific bank branch during specific hours. Now, thanks to the information networks connecting ATMs and your banking app, your bank is basically open 24/7, and it lives right in your pocket.
So, we've seen how ICT works and where we use it. But to really, truly appreciate its impact, you have to understand the mind-blowing scale and speed of this revolution. It's just staggering.
I mean, just look at this comparison. On the left, you've got an early computer that took up an entire building. Only the richest governments or companies could afford one. And on the right, a smartphone. That tiny little thing you use to watch CAD videos has astronomically more power. We've literally put a supercomputer in everybody's pocket.
And what's the result of all that power? Well, it's pretty simple. Distance doesn't really matter anymore. You hear people talk about the global village, and it's not just a cheesy phrase. It's real. It means that whether your friend is sitting next to you or is on the other side of the planet, you can talk to them instantly. In the virtual world, we are all neighbors.
So, we've gone on quite a journey, from a fisherman's simple radio all the way to having the entire world in the palm of our hands. We've seen how random bits of data can become information that changes lives. This revolution has already completely reshaped our world. So the only question left is, what's next? Where is all this incredible technology going to take us from here?